Welcome to the Creative Mind podcast. My name is Maike Döling. I'm your host and I'm here to inspire you in unfolding your creativity and greatness. Today with a new English episode with my wonderful guest Tomer Lev Tov, with whom I had a very honest and beautiful conversation about his journey as an actor and as a person, of course. So enjoy the conversation. I'm excited to open this conversation today with my next guest, which is Tomer Lev Tov, an actor from Israel living in Berlin, Germany. And I'm very curious about his whole story, about our conversation, where it will lead to today. I was very inspired already before when we had our little chat in advance. So let's just dive into this one. Welcome to the podcast, dear Tomer.
Hey. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm excited as well. I'm curious as well. Being in this moment with you, hearing you, listening to you. And so far it's an honor to be here.
Thank you. You are in Berlin right now?
I am in the cold, gray Berlin right now. It's a bright day today. It's still cold. Yeah, Berlin for the moment.
Nice. So where do we start with your story? Where does your story begin?
Good question. How back do we want to go?
Well, I'm interested in, you're from Israel, you studied acting, you came to Germany. I'm interested why, and why you stayed in Berlin. And I think that's.
First, these are all questions that I must say I'm asking myself as well.
Wow.
Because I meet a lot of people and these questions always comes when new people, oh, you're not from here originally. Where are you from and why are you here? And why did you leave such a sunny place? And why did you came to this dark and cold place, and et cetera, et cetera. I came here in 2014 when 2 years after I finished drama school, after I graduated. I started to work slowly but surely in the bees in Tel Aviv. And I had that feeling that something was missing, like something, it's kind of deep, but something was missing before I dive in this intensive business of being an artist, acting. And I felt like before I'm starting that, I owe something for myself and I need to get away. And there's a smile on your face.
Yes. No, I have goosebumps. This I owe something to myself. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, I owe something to myself. Yeah, that's a good thing. Actually, I'm happy to use these specific exact words because I think I came here in 2014. As I said, I was 27 or 28, and I never really had the chance before to travel for a long time or to be away for a long, long time. And Berlin, from some reason, was a good option because it felt like I had sort of an affair with this place. I've been here a couple of times before. And I was curious about this place. And I told myself that Berlin will be the start point. I'm going to start here. And from Berlin, I probably can go to different other cities in Europe. And who knows what's next. But I stayed here. Ever since, I stayed here. So this is, I would say, more or less why Berlin. It was just like, okay, let's start there. With all the struggling and with all the difficulties of being new in a new place, something kept attracting me to this place. And it's still today, it's something that it's hard for me to put in words, like to mark and to point out and to say, like, this is the reason why I came here. I guess I followed my feelings, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
After coming here, I was kind of creating my life here, my circle, friends, relationships, quite, I don't want to say easily, but it happened very smoothly. And there was another thing that actually kept me of staying here. Like I didn't want to go back. The fact that I always can go back, or the fact that I always can move on, it was always there, and it's still always here. I'm still asking myself, do you want to be here? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Obviously, it's not easy to take decisions sometimes, or to decide, okay, I'm going to move to another place. And like, no, but I would say this is one of the main reasons why I am still here. And then for some time I put acting aside, or I did not do that as expected, as I was expecting for myself right after drama school. I put it aside, and I wanted to be in the moment. I wanted to explore. I wanted to see. I wanted to feel. I wanted to experience different kind of things which I did not let myself till this moment, or I thought I'm letting myself, but not enough, or not as I wanted to. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that thing with the place where we are living for a second, because it's interesting. Yesterday, I just heard something about a woman talking about places where we live and where we decide to be. And I mean, I lived in Berlin, and I, at some point, decided to live on the Canary Islands. And for me, it is just a place where I feel I can express myself, or I can develop in who I am so much. And that's...
You mean the place you're living right now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And also for the work I do, this place feels so energetic for me, or I feel so much myself here, that I think it was such a good decision to stay here, because it's the place where I can thrive best in what I do.
Yeah.
So is it like that you feel like that in Berlin?
It's a good question, because before looking at myself right now, and like my surrounding, what I have around me, if I go back to the time in Tel Aviv, I had many of the things that I like, that I love, that I need as a person. The sun was shining, the sea was next to me. I literally was living 15 minutes by walk from the beach. So I had many things which I need as a person, but still, and yet I felt that something is missing, or something is not enough. And if I can think or be more creative while being here in Berlin, maybe, possibly. If I can be more productive, maybe, possibly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, years could tell, I would say. I am aware to the fact that I'm able to do, or I don't know, maybe able is not the right word, but I'm letting myself do things which I was not able to do years ago in Tel Aviv. And this, okay, it's a big city. It's a way bigger than Tel Aviv here. And as you can relate to this, but Berlin is a jungle. It's a massive jungle. And I have my own days when sometimes I think, wait, it's way too big for me. Too many people. I have weekends sometimes that all I need is just to stay at home. Like, like to disconnect myself from the outside world, and just to stay in my flat, to reload myself, to connect back to myself. So from one side, there is something in this place that connects me and brings me to do the things that I want to do, with all the struggle and with all the difficulties of being a foreign in this country. And in a way, I'm kind of ambivalent about it, I would say. Like I have my days where I'm like, I feel like it's a blossom, what's happening in my life. And I do have days when I feel like, oh no, I feel like a bit blocked, or like the energy is not flowing like back then in Tel Aviv, if I would feel blocked, what I was literally would do is to go to the beach and have 15 minutes, 1 hour with myself, have this moment in front of this incredible view and go back to my life, and then everything will be fine. Here, I have my alternatives. Yeah, I won't do that. But
What do you do? Sorry to interrupt. What do you do in Berlin then to get back into that flow?
well, there's something with nature, obviously, that helps me, and I feel that it is much more available for me in summertime or, well, not in wintertime, because winter in a big city, it can be harsh, it can be messy. So what do I do? I'm still figuring it out. In wintertime, it's a lot of inner work with myself that I'm doing, that I'm searching, that I'm exploring with myself. I feel that if in summertime things are more available for me, maybe because I'm a summer or something like I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I would like to come back to the inner work a little bit later, but back to you said, yeah, being a foreign in Berlin. And I'm also interested in, I mean, you're an actor, and you, when you came to Berlin, you already started working here, or how was your acting journey in Berlin?
Well, at first, coming here, I had to integrate myself in everything around me. So adding acting to this was a bit too much. So I made a decision with myself to put acting aside for a short time and to see what's up, what's happening actually. And as time went by, I asked myself, hey, what's with acting? Where is acting? Where is this big love, this passion, this big bug you had time before? Why aren't you doing anything with that? So I would say maybe after a year, I kept collaborating or finding more options or finding my way back in acting. But it was never as I expected. It was never as I wanted to or as my big dream was about. And obviously, as someone who's not originally from here, we have the language obstacle, which is a huge thing. So you have to get over that, or you have to deal with that, or you have to participate and to be part of that. And it took me some time. And I realized while taking my time that this time that I'm taking is actually, it was so much needed. You know, like after having the decision of putting one thing aside and dedicate the time for myself, I realized how much I needed this time for myself. Because I was always working as a teenager and in my early 20s, and then studying, and then workshops, and then castings, and then it was always like sort of like running after something or being on the race of managing and like searching for the right moment to break out and to work more as an actor and to create more and to do the things that I want to do. And then when I finally had the chance to stop, to tell myself, wait a minute, then I realized, okay, this time is actually needed. And I can tell you, and I can share with you that today I realized how much this time was needed. Wow. And taking this time without having the pressure of searching for the right time, because what is the right time? The right time of being an actor, of being an artist, everyday artist.
Did you work before in Israel as an actor already?
I graduated in 2 years before I came here, and then I had around 2 years where I started to work as an actor.
Because I really like what you're telling right now with your inner voice telling you need a break, even though maybe it was not so conscious. I don't know.
And even though, sorry to interrupt you, I need a break. And then I asked myself, wait, I need a break from what? I just started 2 years ago. And it was not that massive. I was a young, fresh actor after drama school. What do I need a break from? You know? So, but
what do you needed the break from? What was it?
From running after living in another city, working, being able to pay rent, to work as a waiter, to work as a bartender, plus to work as an actor, a young man who wants to be an artist, and yeah, like to live, and not only to live, like to do the thing that you want to do, the thing that you actually really, really love doing. Because being an actor or being an artist is not only attending casting and learning your script by heart and then like, okay, I booked it or I not. It's an everyday work. You have to promote yourself every fucking day.
Yes.
If I may use this word. That's a lot. And like there's always another thing. Wait, okay, so as an actor, I also need to do this. Oh, so I also need to be good with people, like relationships with different kind of people, to promote myself, to show myself out there. You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Very massive, intensive, and incredible profession, but it requires a lot of work, like an endless work. It's exactly the opposite of waking up in the morning and going to the office and coming back after work and then you have your time to do other things. No. I mean, sometimes, at 10 o'clock, I receive an email. Okay, casting. I have to do it now. I have to start doing it now.
Yes.
So.
Oh my God, this is so interesting. Thank you for bringing this in. Because my thought was, when I remember my time when I started out as an actress and really running after my dream and doing all the things and bartending and whatever, I thought, I think I wouldn't have taken the break for myself because I would have thought if I take a break, I leave my dream, because then I stop doing this and then I have this break in my vita as well. And so what were your thoughts about that?
This is something I was so petrified about, to have this break on my CV. It's like, okay, and what did you do between 2014 and 2018? I mean, try to explain that now to agencies or to casting directors. Why didn't you work? Why didn't you act in the years between this and this? And I was extremely afraid of that. But I think that the fact that I was here, that I was new here, and I did not speak the language properly or the way I speak the language today, even though we're doing this podcast in English, the fact that I was here, it forced me to have this break. It's like I made it hard to myself, but this making it hard to myself actually helped me understanding, being in the moment and release and just to let go. It's I'm sharing everything with you right now, and I like it's burning and it's like I feel the flame inside of me. Yeah, it's wow. It just, as I mentioned before, taking decisions sometimes can be so hard, so difficult, and sometimes you force yourself to go through something by taking a decision. So yes, back to your question, I was very much afraid of having this break, but I needed it for myself. And after allowing myself and letting myself doing that, I realized that there are so many other things that I want to do. I fell in love after a year in Berlin, and it was a wonderful, long relationship for some years. And I was finally available for that. Emotionally, I was available to experience something else. And I'm pretty much sure that this fact, for example, one of many other facts, made me a better artist today, because obviously I have another things which I can offer as an actor, or another thing which I understand better as a person, which can help me as an artist, as an actor. You get me?
Yes, I love that. being available for other experiences as well, which makes ourselves so much richer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And did you tell yourself, okay, I need a break and I will take it for 6 months? Or did you have this amount of time you're giving yourself? Or how was that?
I do remember time when I told myself, wait, do I really want to be an actor? Like, this is so much fun being able to do other things. I don't know if it's even possible to combine everything and being an actor. So, like, do I really want to do that? Maybe I should do something else. Like, there was like a tiny moment where I thought I let myself to ask myself, do you still want to do that? Is there anything else out there that calling you, that shining on you, that you want to try, that you want to experience? And it did not last for a long time. And quickly, I kind of got back to myself, understanding that no, obviously, acting. This is my biggest passion. This is my biggest true love, or the strongest thing that I have inside of me. That So I kept doing acting, but on a differently than I expected.
How? What do you mean by differently?
Well, I would say that my dream was to work more, to act more, and I didn't do it so much, but I still kept on doing that. I kept myself in shape, I would say. Like I never let myself to lose it or to let it completely go. It was always like, I kept it, I hold it, but I never really released that because I knew how much it's important for me. And it was, I'm jumping some years ahead now. It was maybe 3 years ago when I realized that, okay, it's now. Like this time that I was talking about before, it's like whatever it is, the perfect time, the right time. Wherever I am right now, this is time for me right now to jump in, to dive in, and to do it as I want to do that.
Ooh, wow.
And then back on the race, and back to maybe an old me or a new me or a combination between both. I don't know. I just realized that I don't actually want to do something else. I can't. I'm trying to avoid of saying this cliche. I can't imagine myself doing anything else, but it is like that in a way. Like I don't want to do anything else. Like because I truly love it. Like I don't want to release. Even if I let myself before, even if I tried, even if I don't want it.
The time of the break. What did it change for you? And then what brought you to that moment where you felt like, okay, now I'm gonna go into this again?
I think I grew. I developed. I observed myself clearly, more clear than before. I can't put my finger on one specific thing and list it and tell you it was because of A, B, C. It was just, it's a combination of many things. Well, I'm not an old person, but I got older than I was, and I realized that as time goes by, I don't want to miss doing the thing that I want to do. So if it answer on your question, I think, I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to search for something else because I realized, well, I have something in my head. I hold already something which is precious for me, which is important for me. Why would I release this? It's like,
Oh, no, I understand completely. I feel, okay. For me, from the outside perspective, it looks like you had this time for yourself where you experienced other things, you opened up for experiences, and you grew inside yourself. And then it came to that point where you said, okay, but I don't want to let go of my dream, and I want to go for my dream actually and commit to that. And that was the time to go on another level and to go for it.
Yes, yeah, you said it. You said it very well. To go on another level. I think there was a time for me when I understood. Okay, it's time to level up. It's time to move on, not in a way of like to leave everything behind me and to close the door and to move on. It's time to move on from the place I am right now, to use everything I gained already, everything I have already, and to level up myself, to elevate myself.
Yes.
Yes.
And what was the level up then?
The level up was clearly to find my way in the business here in Berlin, in Germany, because I knew one or two things already in Tel Aviv, how the business works there. I had already relationships with communications with agents and with casting directors that kept inviting me. And then leaving that aside and then coming here and deciding, okay, I want to level myself up in the business as an artist is okay. In a way, I have to start from zero because I know no one here. I don't really have actors friends, a part of people I worked with in some productions or people I took classes with. So it's basically starting to build yourself from, I don't want to say from nothing, but from somewhere which is not very much reach. So it's a lot of work. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's to start to build relations with the right people that actually can help you or can show you the way and can help you to find your way as an artist. Because it's not enough what I have to say and what I have to offer. You have to show yourself in front of others and speak out and shout out and say, hey, this is me and I have something to say and I want you to listen to me and to hear me and to see me. But how are you going to do that when you new here and you don't really know so many people? So that was the work. And technically speaking, like first step is to find an agency who actually wants to work with someone who is not a German native speaker, who actually see the potential of like, okay, we do see things that actually can be offered to you as a foreign actor. So from one side, yeah, it's a very tricky situation, but thank God that, or thank somewhere there in a big positions in, or thank society, something happened in the last years, like I would say 3, 4, 5 years, in terms of diversity in worldwide productions, and we can see it everywhere. Suddenly and finally, so many actors from different backgrounds and different nationality get the chance to be on screen, to act, to work, even though they're not, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. And this process, which is still happening, I think kept me believing that, okay, I do have a chance as a non-German actor. There was an optimistic fact / thought that kept me up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to go to that. We had a little chat before this conversation, and you told me that at some time the language was like a limit, and then you changed something inside yourself that so what was that? How did you deal with the not speaking German and then speaking German but with an accent? And what was it that kept you believing in, okay, I have a chance in Germany even though I don't speak mother tongue German? And what was that shift?
I must say that the circles around me since I came here, I would say it all was in German. My relationship was a combination of German and English. My friends are German. Being on set sometimes, obviously, it's also in German. So German, I was not kind of an actor who says, oh, I'm speaking only. No, like I wanted to integrate. I think the moment was when I realized and when I let myself not to try to be somewhere else. When I understood that I need to be loyal and true to myself. So if I'm a non-German actor, but I do speak German, I can offer you what I have. And what I have is an Israeli actor who speaks German, not natively, but I can speak German if I have an accent or I don't have an accent. But this is what I have. And this is what I got. And this is what I'm going to use. And maybe this is my magic or this is my strongest card, but this is who I am. And I can't deny it. I cannot ignore that fact. So you want an actor? Okay, you got an actor, but it's going to be an actor with possibly an accent. And the moment was understanding that I should not hide myself or try to pretend to be someone else, because I'm not that person. I want to be true to myself. So, yeah.
I love that.
I would say that in acting, it's like, and I'm sure you can relate to this, in acting, it's use what you got.
Yes.
It's exactly that. If you have some difficulties, use it. If you're not 100% speaking the language, use it. Use it as an effect and make it your strongest power or whatever it is.
I love that. Because it is exactly what I experienced also on the casting side so much. A lot of people say that I cannot do this because I don't know this or that, or because I'm not this or that, because I'm not blonde, because I'm not this or that, what the industry requires. But it's not true. It's a cliche. Yeah. The industry wants you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And the sad thing that it took some time to understand that. Because it took me some years to understand how the industry actually works. And I'm still learning, obviously. It's literally, it takes some time to understand, to accept, not to try to be someone else, not to try to be this, as you said, like this blonde, because I'm not that blonde guy. I cannot act this blonde guy, but I can be who I am.
Yeah.
And that's a lot I can offer. Just give me the option to show you what I've got.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I'm having kind of a throwback to my casting time right now.
Tell me.
Because I felt, also when you cast an actor, you have to give the agencies a description of something, what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And of course, it happens that it may sound like, okay, they're looking for something which I am not. But the thing is, I just can speak for myself now. When I was looking for something, and then most of the time when I had this intuition, maybe this guy doesn't fit exactly on our description, but I have the feeling that it could fit. That was often the best thing, because then I saw the casting and I felt like, okay, yes, this is it.
Yeah, it is happening sometimes when I read like the brief and I tell myself, wait, this is like, or I used to be like that, telling myself, wait, it's absolutely not me. Like I cannot deliver something like that. But I've learned from casting directors that I am not the one to decide if it fits or not fits by me.
Yeah.
If the casting director see the potential, so obviously there is something that he or she see that I can give, and I'm just going to do that. And then you're going to decide if it works or if it's not working. Because if it is mine, then I will have it. And if I didn't have it, it's probably because it's not mine.
Yes.
As hard as it sounds, but because this rejection, or because this rejection is a strong word, but this saying no over and over and over and over again, it's not necessarily because I'm not good.
Mm-mm.
It's because it's just simply, it's not mine. My hard work is to try, and it sounds right now like, like it's so easy the way I describe it, but it's like it's a lot of struggle also, yeah. And I think understanding that helped me a lot as an actor to release that fear of like this anxious, did I get it? Will I get it? Is it mine? No, if it's not mine, it's simply not mine. And another thing will come, and I will do my best, and the casting director will decide and will see the potential. And I had some productions where I knew from the beginning, okay, like I'm gonna nail it, and it's absolutely gonna be mine. And I had some casting when I told myself, this is absolutely not me. Like, how on earth someone see the potential or the connection? And I also booked it. So my job is just, it's just to do it on the best sides, and to do what I can give, what I can deliver. And beyond that, it's not my power. There's nothing I can do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. Because, it's every time it is, when I saw a casting where I could see who the person is, sometimes I thought, this is it. This is what I want. And then at this point, when a casting really touches me, I feel like it actually doesn't matter what the description was, because I want this person. So I think it's, for the actors, the biggest chance to show up as yourself, or to take the invitation and make the self out of it, what you can offer for that.
Yeah. And could you relate also to what you say, like, after casting process, like when seeing the result on screen, could you still relate of like, okay, my instincts, I followed my instincts and I was right? Is it something you can actually also see the connection after the process, after the project was shooted and is done? Do you understand my?
Yes, I understand. And yes, I do. But the thing is, I did casting as well, but I was more the agent. And it also, for the people who don't know me, it was for the commercial industry. Mm-hmm. And that was, to be honest, what in the end frustrated me a little bit, because what I liked in that job was working with the people and seeing their potential and give a chance to that potential to be seen. And in the commercial industry, as you know, in the end, maybe you are seen for a few seconds, and often they had a lot more to play than it was shown in the end. And that also frustrated me a little bit. But I have to say, to answer to your question, that almost always I thought, yes, that was the right choice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But I think it's way more satisfying when you cast for a movie, of course.
It's obviously a different type of project.
Yes.
I can. I don't want to minimize the other work, but
yes.
But I get you. I understand what you're saying. I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say is, because you said it's also, of course, an inner work, a struggle sometimes. What is the inner work you're doing?
When you're not working for some time.
Yes.
When you're not having a project coming, or like no casting in few weeks or months. And then you start to ask yourself, wait, what's up? Am I doing something wrong? Am I not good enough?
Oh, yes.
Am I a bad actor? Like, what? Why there's no invitations suddenly? So this is something that leads to struggle. And this inner work, this hard work, or what I'm talking about, is to remind myself constantly that there are so many things which are beyond my ability and beyond my power, which I don't have the power to change or to control. So this inner work is to stay in shape, mentally, emotionally, and professionally, as hard as it gets for the next project. So when the next opportunity will finally arrive, I will still be in shape, mentally, professionally, and emotionally, because I need this. I need it in order to be a good artist, in order to work better, I would say. It's an everyday reminder, many times a day reminder. And this is, for example, connected to this inner dialogue I'm having with myself since years, which I was able to develop and to embrace while having this break I mentioned before, this big break. Because I finally let myself, I finally let myself to have enough space in my life, enough room for this inner dialogue, and not only in between work projects, work, paying rent, work, waking up in the morning, etc., etc. So it was this, I would say, the inner work I was talking about. Yeah. Is there anything else?
It feels so freeing for me to listen to that. I also myself realized it is so important to have that space for oneself to do this inner work, or also to integrate experiences, or to integrate whatever is happening in our life.
I think that I might, and maybe I'm privileged saying that. I think emotionally privileged saying that. As a sensitive person, I think that I don't know any way else. I don't know any other way apart of doing that. Like it kind of in a way was always there. This inner work, and maybe for some years I did this without being aware that this is actually what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But when I started to be aware that this is what needed, when I was able to tag it and to categorize it and to give it a title, what is this thing that I'm doing, this inner work and this working on myself? Yeah.
It's nice what you're saying, because you said kind of that you always did this in a way, but maybe more, unconsciously. But at some point it started to be more consciously, this inner work. So when did that start?
If I'm being really, really honest, I think from the moment I started to go to a therapy. because
I agree to that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, because finally it's like someone was listening to me, looking at me and telling me, oh yeah, that's fine. Like you should do this. That's total in Ordnung, yeah?
Total in Ordnung, yeah.
No, that's how it should be. And I think that gave me a green light to, okay, so I am on the right way, kind of, sort of. And yeah, definitely therapy.
Yes. Yeah. But you also told me before, maybe you want to share this here as well, that you had something with you, I don't know how to say in English, having a Hörsturz?
A lack of a hearing loss.
Ah, yes. So you told me that you had that, and when was that? And you said that your kind of also mindfulness journey started there. Is that right?
There was another point in my life in the last year, that actually another point where life asked me to stop and to calculate, to reload, to ask myself questions. Yeah, I was going through, apparently, I didn't know I was going through a difficult time or a complicated time, but apparently I was going through something like that 3 years ago. Experiencing just like that on a bright morning, just like that, woke up and experiencing Hörsturz, hearing loss in one ear. And at first I did not know what is happening. I thought that probably something stuck in my ear. I kept that feeling for a day because I was sure that by the evening it will go away and everything will be better. And then waking up in the morning after and having the same feeling, going and checking it out with the doctor, I realized, okay, so something is happening. And like a part of this medical fact that I'm experiencing hearing loss, why am I experiencing it right now? Why is it happening? And I was going through a lot. I probably had too much on my shoulders, or too much, I held too much in myself. There was a point when I understood that I need to do things differently, that I need to search for other ways, that I maybe even need more time for myself, because my body was alerting me, this system, that something is going wrong or something is going not as it should go for a young man. To experience something like that was way, like the doctor said, it was way too early. Like this is something you might experience in the age of 50. So there was another moment where I took a break from things in my life. And that was the moment where I first discovered mindfulness. And I must share with you that after reading and practicing mindfulness myself, I understood that it has so much to do with the kind of acting I studied in drama school, or the kind of acting I practiced. I was practicing for some years. This thing of asking you being in the moment and listening, for example, listening to what's happening around you, and to be aware of the noises around you, and to be aware of what's happening. It's like when you practice, when you meditate in your flat, and you cannot really ignore the sounds of the outside, or the sounds, the noise of your neighbors. It's part of the moment that's happening right now, right?
Yes.
It's exactly the way I work as an actor. And I think that was my strongest connection to mindfulness when I realized that I was practicing the Meisner technique for years. And it talks a lot about being in the moment with your partner and not ignoring anything else that actually happening in the moment. So if I want to, I don't know, if I want to scratch my head right now because something is really itchy, I have to do it. I cannot ignore it. It's there. I can ask myself, what is it? Or if my partner looks funny, I cannot ignore it. Like I have to be in the moment and to pay attention to it. And exactly, to me, that was my first connection with mindfulness, because I was afraid in the beginning, like searching and trying something completely new in my life, and like, how am I letting in something new that so many people recommended me, and I remember my sister recommended me like there is this mindfulness, did you ever hear about it? And I'm like, mindfulness, I don't know if I'm available for something new in my life right now. Yeah, okay. And from the very first moment when I read about it, or the first video I saw on YouTube explaining what it's all about, and I'm still learning and exploring myself, I think my first connection was like I tried to parallel it to something that I know in my life, and that was the connection between mindfulness and acting for myself as an actor. And still today, till today, when I'm acting, when I'm working, I'm always working very hard on being in the moment and avoiding of having something which is perfect, because it's not exist. So just as you are, as it is right now with your partner on set, listening to what's around you, to the noises, to the things that might be bothering you, and using it and having it with you. So yeah, this is one aspect about acting, I would say. But if I put this aside for a moment or so, what's mindfulness to me? I think I accept myself more, or I accept things in my life after practicing mindfulness. It's kind of a magic for me, with the hard work, understanding that things are as things should be. And all you have to do is just to be in the moment and look and observe on everything. Sometimes it's just about sometimes it's just an observation. Like I go very deep right now.
No, I love it.
I can
Please
go on.
Continue.
Yeah, it's like when you have a one of these days, like a blue day or something like that, and you're not on top of the world, and you ask yourself, like, why am I struggling today? Like, why is it so hard for me today? And to me is to let myself to be like that. So if I'm not perfect today, or if I'm not super happy today, because what's super happy, it's just to let myself to be like this today. And sometimes what helps me regarding mindfulness is just to observe myself from the outside. And it helps me to understand more. It's not about finding a solution. It's not like a button you press and then, okay, it worked and now I'm going to be better. No, it is not about that. It's about having this everything you feel you have, holding it, hugging it, a big hug, and telling yourself, this is how it is right now. And there's nothing I can do.
Yes.
And maybe the only thing I can do is just to be with it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And
how does it work for you also, as someone who, what's your way, or what's your observation towards that?
Yes, I love that. Okay, first I have to say that it's funny. I always have this when somebody is telling his story, I always have this all overview picture. It's interesting. But when I first heard of your hearing loss, whatever the body tells us, it says something. It's talking to us. And when I hear of hearing loss, the first thing I thought was listening to the inside. And I love your process in all of this, because for me, it feels like this Hörsturz, or loss of hearing, was like opening up another world, another room for yourself or inside yourself, which made so much space again. And I also, when you were talking about coming back to the present moment, if it's in acting or if it's in your private life with yourself, and accepting everything there is at the moment, it's such a feeling of wholeness. And that's what I also experience with being in the moment. And I thought, or also to answer your question, it was also a process for me. And last year, I often had this question for myself, or asking myself this question: what do I love about the person I'm becoming right now?
Wow.
Because it's in the struggle. We always, last year was for me a crazy year of the biggest love and happiness, and in the same time, the biggest pain. And it was all there, and my topics, and then falling in love, and then my business. And it was so much there, like feeling very alive. And in the same time, everything there, like the pain and the joy and the love and the struggle. And
it's a lot to deal with.
It's a lot to deal with, and also to embrace everything and say, okay, that's all in my life right now. I'm not avoiding one topic or the others, but I'm going through this and embracing everything. And it was often, I was just kind of also forced to just be in the moment and receive everything what's there at the moment. And then this question I just said, what do I love about the person I'm becoming right now, helped me so much, because I always could find the gift behind the struggle. And I could see where it leads to, and I could see what this, my development is in the moment. It's funny, because before we pushed the recording button, I told you that I did an ice bath this morning. And that's actually also a tool that helps me very much to release everything what's going on in my mind, like problems or something like that, or worries about how something would be or should be or so, and just go into the cold, embrace it, and be there with it without judging.
This is so brave.
Yeah, but this is something, it's interesting, because at the moment I have a group of actors I'm accompanying I did for 6 months, and we are talking about contrasts at the moment as well. And it's like, we as humans, we want to avoid the things that are uncomfortable.
Say it again. We want to avoid.
We would like to avoid the things that feel uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But most of the time, the things that are uncomfortable or where we have a resistance are the things, when we go into them, we grow the most. Exactly. And it's sometimes also the way that leads us to the next level.
Exactly.
And so you can train that. You can either, of course, you can see in your life or in your career what's the next thing where I have a resistance and where I maybe should go through. It can be talking to an agent or a casting director. It's uncomfortable, yes, but maybe it is the conversation that leads you to the next level. But you can train that in life. You are a being of contrasts. So for example, you don't run away if it's windy, you go into the wind. You take the path which is not the comfortable one, but maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but you feel better after that.
It's going to lead you somewhere. You know it's going to lead you somewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And as difficult as it is, as you said, before doing that or while doing that, how relieved and how freeing it is afterwards. I totally can relate to what you just said. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I don't know if I answered your question now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work out there.
Yes. And I have another question for you, because you said about the Meisner technique. I also did that a while ago.
Okay.
But I have to admit, I watched your About Me video. Which I really like, because that was so very authentic. And I think I already told you this, but you were talking about control, and acting is about letting go of control and in the same time keep the control. I don't know exactly how you said it, but I love that. And it's also about, connected to the being in the moment, because if you want to be really in the moment, sometimes you have to let go of control.
Yeah, it's about, if I may say, it's about lose control and stay in control on the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, also difficult to do.
What does that mean?
It means to let go, to literally let go and be in the moment, and to don't let things to disturb you of losing control, because this is how you can actually earn things and find gold while working. But on the same time, you have to stay in control professionally, because you don't want to lose control, obviously, in front of cameras or on stage. So you have to always to stay in control, but enjoy the magic also of supposedly losing control and just to be. Because it sounds so simple when I said just to be, because everyone can just be, but are we actually always just being? No, I mean, we're not, obviously. So it's about that. It's like a mantra that I'm reminding myself sometimes. And yeah, it's also something I don't know if it's 100% related to Meisner, but it's also, for me, it's connected also to Meisner, which I have big love to this whole technique. Yeah.
And what helps you to be in that, or to get into this moment of letting go, and not let yourself distract by other things?
Simply trusting myself.
Wow.
Simply telling myself, everything is fine. You got everything. You got your lines. You know what you need to do. I'm talking like when working on set, for example, yeah? You know where you are. You know where your partner is. You know where the cameras are. Your body remembers everything from rehearsing. Now all you have to do is just to be and try to have fun, because then you might have fun and then it's actually cooler. And this is why it's so incredible job when working. It is so incredible. It is such an honor to do this. Like, I feel sometimes so lucky doing that, not because I'm doing the things that, obviously because I'm doing the things that I like the most, but also because I have the opportunity to, you learn so much about yourself every time. You deal every time with leaving your comfort zone. And this is simply, it's something that helps you simply growing and growing. And by growing, you know more and you're ready for more. So this is for me, this being in the moment while losing control and letting go, and also stay in control and be loyal to the actor that I am and to this profession. Yeah, I guess.
I love that. It's also, really much about, for me, it feels at the moment like really going into a new experience every time.
And it teaches you so much about life also. Really.
Yes.
It teaches you so much. And I guess also this is why I love to be that kind of artist so much, because you're never in one spot and you're never from A to B. It's a ranger development, and you're always in motion, and you always have to be flexible, and you're always moving between different points. And I think this is what makes me feeling so excited so much about it, because I know it's not going to be static. It's not going to be just like that and that's it. And maybe that's why I cannot imagine myself doing something else, because I know, as I know myself, that doing something like that, like acting, with everything I mentioned that comes with control and being the moment and from ranger points and everything, this is why I understand that. That's why I love it so much, because I have so much possibilities, and that gives me so much freedom, that allows me to be creative. And when I feel creative, or when I be creative, I feel just alive, and that makes me, it brings joy.
This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful, because what you were just saying, it's actually about acting, but you can exactly take these words and put it on life. It's
Everyday
about
life.
life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can relate. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. And again, I don't want to be a bummer now. And don't get me wrong. It's not that everything is always perfect. And it's not that every day I'm obviously learning something new and I'm developing. There's also a lot of sometimes negative moments, or moments when you feel negative and not necessarily negative. There's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of difficulties, there's a lot of I'm not good enough, and there's a lot of I have to be better, and I have to work better, and I have to explore that, and I have to do this. And it's a mixture of so many things, but on the same time, this is also life, because life is not only one thing beautiful and this is how. No, it's not. We have rainy days, we have gray days, and we have sunny days. So it's a mixture of combinations. And I think the hard work is reminding yourself that reminding myself that when doing that, why do I love doing that? Why am I loving doing that so much? Because of that.
Yes. And you know what? Now I want to ask you this question I said before. What do you like about the person you're becoming right now?
Ooh. First, I must say that when you said that, I wanted to write it to myself on a piece of paper here, because I like this question. So I would say noted. What do I like? Say it again. What do I like?
What do you like about the person you're becoming right now, or about the version of yourself you're becoming right now?
That the first thing that comes in my mind is that with all the craziness and the madness also in this profession, and I still sometimes find myself not giving up. And I think not giving up, trying and looking for more opportunities. With all this craziness of hearing no after no after no, and sometimes not working for some time, with all of this, with all of feeling unconfident sometimes about who you are and what you can give, with everything, I am still finding myself not giving up, because I'm still trying. And it's not that I'm trying now to build like an image here, to draw an image here of a very strong persona that like don't give it. No, I'm a human being. Obviously, I have moments where I am. When I say ich kann nicht mehr, and all I want to do is just to do nothing and fuck everything. But allowing myself saying that and reminding myself that this is how it is today, and tomorrow going to be different, and maybe today it's a shitty day, So I'm going to let go and I'm going to put everything aside and I won't give up. For tomorrow, I will try maybe a better way. And if I need even 2 days, then I will take even 2 days. Yeah. So this is what I am becoming, I would say, today. Yeah. What do you like in the person you're becoming today, if I may ask?
Yes, sure. I really love this question because it's changing all the time.
Yeah.
Right now, I like the version of myself that goes into the uncomfortable to expand into what I found last year about myself.
Right.
And at the moment, I'm creating a new program. And it's always interesting when I'm a little bit, I'm sure about this program. I have to bring it out. I know that people need this. I know that this is my next thing. And in the same time, there's a lot of fear coming up. Like, do people need this?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know enough to hold this space for the people and stuff like that? But you know what I like about the version I'm becoming right now, that I'm following my instincts.
Beautiful.
And say it doesn't matter what my fear is, but I have to bring this out. That's what I'm here for right now.
At least to try, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Express that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is not about like being successful or I succeed in what I did. I think you are successful when you're already letting yourself to try.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if it's going to be fail or not. What's fail?
What is fail? Exactly.
Yeah. You brought it to life. You heard that voice and you gave life to that voice. Yeah. And this is already this is a massive successful already for yourself, for ourselves. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I think also that failure is not to try.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know what I also feel like and what I like about you and me at the moment is like I have the feeling that we have this thing inside ourselves that drives us, that it's a feeling. I cannot say what exactly that is, but it's a feeling I'm following and I'm bringing the things out and I'm trying and I'm doing because I know this is what I'm here for and this is what I want to express and it fulfills me. And I think that's, also, I feel like that's also something that drives you.
It's being true to yourself,
yes.
I would say, because it is so easy to look around and to compare myself to the people around me, to see what's their status in life right now. What did they achieve already in life? Are they married? Do they have kids? Where do they live? Work-wise, everything related to this. But who said that this is also my way? And, and for me to be true to myself is to listen to myself. And maybe I'm a dummy that in my age, in my position, in my status right now, I am following my dream. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, and maybe not. But I know that I have to be true to myself. Otherwise, I won't be happy with myself. Or then I know, okay, at least I tried. I did my best to do what I wanted to do, and how incredible it is, like to follow your instincts, as you said.
Yes.
Yeah, it's maybe we're privileged to hearing that inner voice and letting ourselves doing that and having this inner dialogue with ourselves and try and fall and keep trying but for me, this is what it's all about. Because otherwise it's just boring.
Yes.
And I don't want to be bored.
Thank you so much. There was so much in this whole conversation, and I think we are coming to an end now, but I want to point out, because I think we didn't end this story because we were diving in other stories, which were also so interesting, that when you really committed to your acting path in Germany, because I think that's interesting for the people. You, how did you say that the language and everything, you took it for yourself, and in the end you booked something that fit exactly to that, right? You had a role. Yes.
Yeah, my last project. Yeah. So, so I started to get in contact with an agency, which now is an agency I'm working with and representing me, and it's Mulholland Talent Management, and I am very much happy to have them and to in my life in this professional process for actually giving me the opportunity to be a foreign actor in Germany, to giving me that chance. A part of me giving myself that chance. And back to your question, my last project was I was an Israeli guy on screen, on script, not originally on script. It's something that I guess developed. But bottom line, my character was an Israeli guy, which was a good start for me because, hey, I'm also an Israeli guy. Simple as it is. So it gave me more hope. It was like a permission to keep doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing, because I guess it's working okay or well, I would say. Yeah, that's...
No, I like that story because I actually saw now some snippets on your show reel and I really liked them.
Did you watch the show, the one I...
No, because from Spain I cannot watch it.
All right, okay.
Yeah, but now I saw the snippets on your show reel and yeah, I really like them. I also like Paula Kahlenberg, is it right?
Yes.
I love her. And yeah, I just wanted to finish this story again because I like that this role fits to you so much. And it was like you were speaking German and English and Hebrew.
And even Hebrew, and even I had, there was one scene when I had to speak Hebrew, correct.
And I just want to tell the people that believe in who you are, because people will need exactly that.
Yeah, well, it was such a strange, funny, incredible moment being on set in Germany, in Cologne, speaking Hebrew on a German production. There was a moment when I told myself, like, everything can happen. Yes. Like I didn't believe that actually I will have the chance to push like a few words in Hebrew on my German English text on a German production on RTL. It's like, what? Wait, how? Really? And simply I was lucky to have that. And big fun. I had big fun. Yeah. So I support what you say. Don't go with your dream and keep on trying. It's obviously like there is no guarantee that my next project will be similar to this. Again, the Israeli guy, but hey, I did something. I booked something which actually I used who I am with the difficulty of speaking another language or speaking 3 languages while living here. I did it this way, and it was great, marvelous opportunity for me, and I'm really happy about it. Yeah.
So cool. So I also want to give you the chance to whatever you want to tell or give to our listeners today. What is it that is coming through right now?
I guess that's a big question. I would say don't be in a rush and give yourself time when you need time, and allow yourself taking this time, because I can speak to myself as an actor. I would not be the artist I am today if I wouldn't give myself that time before. So use it, and it will absolutely will serve you and will work for you in the future, I would say.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wow. Yeah.
What a beautiful conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also, where can people find us if they want to get in contact with you? And also, where can people see something from you?
On social media, actors platforms, and on your beautiful podcast on Spotify, I would say.
Beautiful. Thank you. I will put your link in the show notes, and yes, thanks again. I hope we could inspire you with this conversation and you had fun, you took something for yourself out of the episode, and we would be pleased if you share your thoughts and inspirations with us. And you can do that, of course, on Instagram below the post of today's episode, or also in a direct message, of course. And as always, you find all links in the show notes. This project I was mentioning in the episode is actually out now, and the first participants have already joined. So for all the German speakers, I have created the Creative Mind Expanded membership, which is a membership area where you find content, energy sessions, meditations, challenges, Q&A calls, and inspiring guests every month, and of course a growing community of like-minded creative people, all to make you grow and expand in who you really are as a creative being. I would be very happy to see you there. You find more information in the show notes, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Please also share this podcast with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues who might also be inspired by the content, and leave me a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcast. That would really help me to make this project grow. For now, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you will be in for the next episode too.